Welcome to the New Dad Rock. Hey Keith, did you buy a shirt yet?
What? I have to buy a shirt.
Yeah, how else are we going to pay for the cost of this thing?
Oh crap, dude. Sorry, I didn't know we actually had to pay for this.
Well, so far we haven't been paying for it. Just buy a shirt, man.
Fine.
Or a coffee mug or a pillow, anything.
Dude, yeah. I'm sure it's worth it. Where do I go?
Like on any of the episode notes, however you listen to the show, like there's usually a link that says support this show. On our Buzzsprout site, there's that little heart thing that goes to it.
Hey, Steve, we got some questions from the last episode last week.
Yeah, and one of the questions was, hey, Keith, did you actually listen to Soup? That was from Kristen N.
It's funny. I tried to. And I think I listened to the first 4 or 5 songs, and I felt that, like, I had to report out this week because I said, okay, I'll give it a listen. So I gave it a listen, and it was fine. I wasn't attached to it, and I turned it off before it was over. So I just can't give judgment because I didn't hear it in the time it came out. So,
wow.
Yeah. And
that's messed up because a lot of their best songs are right in that first, 6 songs. Like, 4 of the first 6 are awesome.
Yeah, maybe I just didn't like that era.
I was going to say, it's all right that you don't like Blind Melon because, you like Juice WRLD.
Whoa. That's fighting words. Anyway, we'll get to him in a second. I had a friend, his name is Eric, who texted me after he listened to the last episode, which was cool because I'd hung out with him maybe 2-3 weeks before, and I didn't know if he listened to it. So he listened to our latest episode, and he texted me and he said, "Please never sing No Rain again." So, sorry, audience.
So ready? 1, 2, 3. All I can say is that
yeah. Oh my God. Okay.
Take that, Eric.
Seriously. So check this out. We had planned to record a Juice WRLD episode. We were going to do it. And then last night at 10 p.m. Pacific time, I go on Tidal and Juice WRLD had a new album out. I had no idea he was coming out with a new album.
I thought you were a big Juice WRLD fan, man. I mean, my daughter, who's 16, told me about it days ago. And so I was actually listening to it last night when you texted me. I had it on. I was up to track 7 or something.
How did your daughter know to tell you about Juice WRLD coming out? How'd she know that you...
She's talked about Juice WRLD. She mentioned him back in December when he passed away. There was discussion about him. I know she listens to him, and I've made a joke. Oh, hey, Keith listens to them, so Juice WRLD's dad rock now. And she just rolls her eyes. But even my 14-year-old, or soon-to-be 14-year-old daughter, who doesn't even really listen to music, she's like, yeah, I knew Juice WRLD was out.
Okay, yeah, I didn't, but, I mean, he's been dead for 7 months, so, I don't know, I wasn't expecting that. So you said...
You wasn't expecting it? Have you heard of Biggie Smalls, or Tupac Shakur, or Elvis, for that matter?
Let's talk about this Juice WRLD. Who or what is a Juice WRLD?
It's Juice WRLD. Juice like juice. J-U-I-C-E.
From the movie with Tupac Shakur. That he named it after that.
Right. And then it's capital W, capital R, capital L, capital D. Juice WRLD. Like that. I tell you, man, I don't want to... Here I am on my front porch in the rocking chair, but it's getting harder to read pop charts, man. Back when I was a kid, it was Boys, 2 Men, U2... OU812, Limp Bizkit, Linkin Park, and now it often seems you get any garble of letter. It's probably someone's password. Get off my lawn, you little whippersnapper!
Yeah, so you're saying we just don't get it, but we listen to dumb shit name too.
Like Lil Uzi Vert, you said before. I'm like, that's not real.
Okay. Well, so...
It's like what Qbert said when he fell off the pyramid.
I don't remember Qbert that well. That was cool.
As good of a game as you think.
So before last night, or before this album, had you listened to Juice WRLD before?
Yes. Everyone in the world has heard Lucid Dreams.
Okay.
I was at a wedding a couple weeks ago. There were definitely some Juice WRLD songs played. And when he died last December, it was big enough news that it crossed into the suburban dad world.
For the audience at home, I just want to tell you that what he told me was he listened to 4 Juice WRLD songs in a row last week at night, jump into his pool after a wedding at his house. So that sounds pretty cool. I mean, did you like the songs?
Yeah, I mean, it's fine.
fine.
They're hits. It's not the type of music that I like. It's pop music. It's catchy. You're enjoying it while it's happening. But like the TV show 24 featuring Kiefer Sutherland, like the minute it's over, I kind of forgot everything about it.
Okay.
But that being said, I was doing my homework last night when the new album came out, and I found there's obviously a lot of common themes that he seems to hit again and again. Listening to a few songs here, and my point is, listening to a few songs here and there is fine, but when you're hearing 15 in a row, it gets cumbersome.
All right. Fine, that's fair. So, what I imagine a young person listening to Juice WRLD sounds like is how, like I'm thinking about like a 13-year-old or a 15-year-old, like your daughter's age, like teenagers. And like I was like, what was I listening to and how did I feel back then? And I was like, I was listening to Nine Inch Nails' Pretty Hate Machine. So like,
yeah, it's called emo rap, right? It's called emo rap. So there is definitely that whole I'm vulnerable, I'm hurting, I'm emotional, and a bit hormonal because I'm only 17, 18, 19 years old.
13, 14, 15, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, when they're writing this, performing it, their fans can relate to it. And, Smashing Pumpkins mined this field in the 90s. Everybody, through the decades in the past, going back to the 60s, there were these sad songs of heartbreak. Leader of the Pack. Emo, man.
Yeah. Hey, so you said you liked Wishing Well off the new Juice WRLD album. Why that song?
Because, like I said, it's enjoyable while it's on. That one, I think, stood out a little bit more. It was probably something to do with the flow. I don't even remember the words to it. That's
fine. I bet it has to do with the lyrics. I always felt you were sort of like a lyrics guy, like even like things you like about books and stuff. But like the chorus is, "This is the part where I tell you," and he like tells you a bunch of things. I want to assert that SoundCloud is like the modern mixtape, and by that I mean like a cassette tape like you used to make. That's what SoundCloud is now.
Why SoundCloud?
It's free, right? You don't need a credit card to be able to pay for it because Spotify like doesn't necessarily work like if you don't pay for it, and Tidal you can't use I don't think without paying for it. So like Apple Music you have to buy the music. So like I think SoundCloud is both a free place to listen to it, but it's also a place that anyone can put songs up on it. Like our title song for this podcast comes off of SoundCloud. Yeah, so like I mean even my band has songs on SoundCloud. Do you use SoundCloud?
No, not at all.
Really?
I am aware it exists, and I remember, if I'm at a computer and I'm reading a review of some music and there's a link to a SoundCloud file, I will go listen to it. But I have more than one streaming service, and I have a CD player in my car.
Okay. Hey, I bet your daughters listen to SoundCloud because they don't have to pay for it.
Yeah, so I asked them, and they have a couple of friends, or at least acquaintances in high school, that do exactly what you say. They put out mixtapes, they put out some of their raps, and they're wannabe 14-year-old rappers, and they're on SoundCloud. Awesome. So she will listen to her friends, but no, she's like, I think her words were, "That's so stupid."
So she doesn't listen to us either, is my guess. Tidal came out with like a most listened to thing last couple months. I have Lucid Dreams is number 1 on my top played ever. And then it looks like he's also, a little further back, probably 13 with Robbery, followed immediately by All Girls Are the Same, so 13 and 14. Those are pretty good draft picks.
That's one of his first songs, though. That's old, right? I mean, old for someone who died at 20.
New. Totally, exactly. Bandit, which he did with Young Boy Never Broke Again. That's probably like 2021. They don't have numbers next to it. Wasted, did you hear that? By Juice WRLD and Little Uzi Vert. That one's awesome. And then Hear Me Calling is the 3 words I couldn't come up with last week. Oh, and look, there it is. Sad. All right. So Sad by XXXTENTACION.
How do you say that?
That was the best I could ever have done.
Extension.
XXXTENTACION. He also died young. I think he had a song called Sad that, for whatever reason, I found on SoundCloud. And I think I listened to that. And then, like, there was, like, related songs. So Juice WRLD came up. And that's how I found Juice WRLD on SoundCloud.
Yeah, SoundCloud is a free streaming service that anyone can listen to. no credit.
And more importantly, anyone can upload to, like me and my band.
So Keith, so Juice WRLD, back to the topic at hand. He had a new album come out, his first posthumous release. Mm-hmm. Is he like another Tupac or a Biggie situation? Is he that big? I know they've already put some of that chatter in some of the interstitial sections of the album where they're just quoting people talking, and they're seeming to lean on that. And there's some implication that he laid down a lot of tracks just off the cuff. So it seems like we might be getting an avalanche of juicy juice.
Yeah, no, I mean, sure. And I think, you got the good songs now. It's just like, how much could he possibly have out in a lot of ways? Because he had just turned 21. Now, that being said, I do have a SoundCloud playlist that we will share somewhere in the notes, which is 314 tracks long, 17 hours, 23 minutes, and 14 seconds, with 92.6 thousand likes. So, someone on SoundCloud created a unreleased Juice WRLD song. So, like, he just seems to have recorded all the time. Like, him hanging out was in a studio recording. And, like, sounds like a pretty good life to me. So, I started checking out, like, the credits on his songs, just because, like, they're posthumous, which means not funny, right? Posthumous after funny. So, check this out. He had, like, 5 lyricists on, like, the one song I picked on. But, I mean, he's one of them. And Skrillex is another. But, okay, there's 5 composers. There's, like, 2 to 3 producers. And then, more importantly, and this is where you and I come in, 3 guys or girls who are studio personnel. Hey, Keith was there. What was he doing? I don't know. He was studio personnel. Anyway, so he wrote lyrics with other people, which is, great. So, but it was his flow, apparently, that, like, really that blew people's minds.
And I think he would still freestyle. Like, freestyling has become a bit of a dying art in rap, I understand. Mm-hmm. And he would continue to do that. He'd go in with notes for, like, 1 or 2 songs and would end up singing over the beat 3 different ways, and it was the same beat, and they're like, hey, pick one. So now they picked one, it's a hit, and those other 2 are the things that are going to be coming out.
So much fun. I mean, he just hung, man. He just hung. So the new thing is called Legends Never Die. And when I watch it on my phone and on Tidal, it actually plays like a 10-second clip that loops, dude. It's really freaking cool. It's cartoonish, and it's like it says "Legends Never Die," and then there's a picture of him. And there's like butterflies in his face, and asteroids shooting to the Earth, like gonna blow it up maybe. And then Juice WRLD is just staring at you, and it's beautiful.
It reminded me a little of "Axis Bold as Love" by Jimi Hendrix, maybe, but not like trippy, more kind of cut and paste that's more popular now. Collage-esque. It's
just playing like a video, but an 10-second clip of this. So it was kind of cool. Maybe they built it themselves then. It's freaking beautiful. It does repeat. His biggest song was Lucid Dream. So if you haven't checked out Juice WRLD at all, check out Lucid Dream first. It's really poppy.
Yeah, it's an easy song to listen to, and I actually know I've heard that song, and when it comes on, my brain tells me that I've heard it before. I can tell you nothing about it right now.
It's actually like apparently played on some loop from a Sting song.
Sting, huh?
Yeah, Sting. Roxanne! Like, totally. That's Sting. And, man, like, I don't know. Like, I heard he got like 85% of the money for that song, Sting. Even though
Sting
I didn't recognize it. Yeah, I didn't recognize it as a Sting song. I didn't recognize it
Good for Sting. He probably needs the money.
Totally. Anyway, yeah, it helped Juice WRLD out.
They should take that money and give it to all of the artists that don't get anything from streaming. It should just go into a fund. So Keith, did you actually see Juice WRLD? You said that, right? You saw him?
Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing because I'd wanted to go to the concert forever, and then like the tickets got really expensive or something. And then the night of the concert starts, I look on my phone and like prices are down. And my family was watching TV. They didn't need me. So I asked if I can go. And then I bought a ticket on StubHub or something. I was at the show within 15 minutes. And it was like the first time and possibly the last time that living in the city was amazing. I was like the oldest person there by a decent
Where was
amount.
this? Billy Graham Civic Auditorium?
Civic Center, totally. So
like downtown, right near City Hall.
Yeah, is that 8,000, 10,000 people? It's an enormous place. But it was like being in a high school gymnasium. And it was pretty aggressive, like Nine Inch Nails live. But Nine Inch Nails' Pretty Hate Machine is kind of pretty. But live, they're really aggressive.
But what did they have on stage? What obviously there's Juice WRLD, and what do they have? Like 3 guys at keys / samplers? Were there live drums?
You know what? I have no recollection. But because, I'm going to tell you why. Because there's huge video playing behind all this. And the crowd is going nuts. But it's like dark. It's way darker than I imagined, because like the pop songs are the ones that like I that make me laugh, and that's what I had listened to, Robbery and Bandit and all this stuff. But like live, it's a lot more aggressive, and you're like, because it's the other songs, and you're like, oh, and it's like it was like teenage anger and stuff. Like I was even quizzed by some kids. I was a little afraid for a moment. They're like, "You live in the city?" I was like, "Yeah." They're like kind of 2 of them walking me out of the bathroom, but you're like in these like high school, like huge hallways. Like I was terrified, but not terrified, but just like out of place. But I enjoyed the concert. Did you get a wedgie? I did not luckily get a wedgie.
So we just wanted to share Juice WRLD with you. It's an artist that percolated up to me from my teenage kids. And, it's pretty cool. It's certainly not dad rock or new dad rock by any means.
Well, it's new to this dad, and it rocks. So I think that makes it new dad rock. But I think I found out about it reading online and got to XXXTENTACION, who is like this SoundCloud rap or emo rap, which is what I was talking about earlier before.
Right. And on SoundCloud, emo, there's this emo rap that's happening, and people are showing emotion and getting out there, and it's very confessional. It's very true to the heart. It almost reminds me of a gloomy goth synth style that was popular in the 80s when we were growing up. It's unexpected. There are some very dark themes and stark depictions of addiction, of mental illness. It's dark, and it's like the 80s, and it resonates with the kids, I think.
Well, maybe they're learning to open up from their therapy sessions.
Yeah, maybe they're breaking the taboo of talking about mental illness. Juice WRLD and that extension guy, they both speak in very open and honest terms about addiction and, in Juice WRLD's view, premonition of his death.
It's maybe a little fixated on the taking pills to stay alive. The pills are going to kill me, he sings.
Yeah, that's a line from Wishing Well, isn't it? That's the one that starts with the line, "I can't breathe, I can't breathe."
And then he says 999. And 999 means, or is meant to represent, the positivity, because it's the opposite of the devil's number, the 666, which you like so much.
Well, that's... I do. So I'm on the flip side, though, turning that over and making it 999 is something that Juice WRLD did. And we haven't even mentioned this yet, but he always has a positive message. He's always telling people they can work to get through it. He's always inspired by his fans, and he tries to be inspirational to his fans and saying, you're going to get through it. And, he has lines in songs that say, "I know that my music saved you," and he's aware of it.
It's important. I mean, you said it last week, and you're important at the end to everyone. And it's true. So thank you, Steve, for those words. I just have to say that my 10-year-old son, Jasper, he requested I say Black Lives Matter during this podcast. So thank you, Jasper, for reminding us Black Lives Matter.